Well, hello everyone. This is Stony, and welcome to the NC Stony channel. I really appreciate you stopping by. And today is Saturday, June 1st, and I am just leaving Hiddenite, North Carolina. This is right outside of Statesville, Hiddenite Baptist Church. There you go, if you want to know how you spell it. And I'm headed up to North Wilkesboro to get a cup of coffee. Figured I would go on a ride today. Haven't been able to ride very much this year at all, really. And I'm on my 2023 Triumph Tiger 900 GT Pro. That's a mouthful, I know. And you know, I've had this bike a year, and I thought I would give a little review on it. I'm not really a reviewer, but I will give you an owner's perspective on my 1 year of ownership. Now I'll have less than 3,000 miles on it on this trip today, which will be about a couple hundred miles. Will put me just under 3,000 miles. And yeah, I know I'm a fair weather rider. I haven't gotten to ride much this past year. We've had a lot going on at home. I've worked a lot. We sold our house back in September of last year. Bought another house, had to put our furniture in storage. Moved into the new house in December, and I don't know what that guy's doing. Get out of the way, little doggy. Go back home. So I moved into a new house right before Christmas, about a week before Christmas. And if you've ever moved before, that's a fiasco. We had lived in our old house for about 27, 28 years. And of course you accumulate a lot of stuff, but we moved from a 1,200 square foot house into a 2,200 square foot house, almost doubled our square footage. And the reason we did that is we moved my mother in with us. So after we got all settled in December, January, we put my mother's house up for sale and sold it, and then we had to move her and sell off some of her furniture, put some stuff in storage. So yeah, I've spent the last about 3 or 4 months moving and working, so I really haven't had a chance to ride. I hope to ride more this year. It really hasn't started out that way. I really haven't been able to ride a whole lot. It seems like we've had a lot of wet weather. But anyway, I'm making a lot of excuses. I just need to get out and ride more. But yeah, this little road here, this is called Sulphur Springs Road, and it will run into Brushy Mountain Road. And this is a very country back way of getting to North Wilkesboro. Normally North Wilkesboro from my house is about 75 miles, and I'm already at 84, but I came a long way. And this is a cool little road. When I was planning my trip today, I was trying to look at a different way of going up to North Wilkesboro, and I had a buddy that was going to ride with me, and he had something come up at the last minute and actually couldn't ride. So, but anyway, back to the bike. Yeah, my 2023 Triumph Tiger GT Pro. Really like this bike, and I gotta tell you, it was a big change from, I've ridden Harleys for years. I've liked them. I've had Electric Glide, I've had a couple Softails, 3 Sportsters, I've had an FXR and a Dyna. Yeah, I think that's it. And I still have my 2020 Sportster Iron 883, which I really love that bike. But the previous bike to this, I had a 2018 Harley-Davidson Heritage Softail with the M8 motor, Had that bike for 5 years, I think, 4 years maybe. And you're probably wondering, well, why did I get rid of the Harley and buy the Triumph? Well, the biggest reason is I wanted something lighter. That bike was getting heavy. I'm almost 66 years old. I'm in good health. I'm not a couch potato. I work out just about every day. Oh my goodness, this guy's got hay or blowing hay all over the road. And it's not like I'm a weakling. I'm not as strong as I used to be, but that bike was just getting heavy. When I bought my Sportster in 2020, I bought that bike to ride around town, and just something a little smaller, a little lighter, maybe just a little bit more fun. And when I bought that bike, I realized, I'm telling you, small, lighter bikes are a lot of fun. The only bad thing about the Sporty is it's not really a real comfortable bike for an all-day ride. Now, my first Harley was a Sportster in 1982, and I would ride that bike all over the place, up and down the East Coast, took trips on it, but I was a lot younger man too, so it makes a big difference when 65-year-old man and old bones and arthritis, you want something that's a little bit more comfortable. So when I was researching motorcycles, and I sold my Heritage last year outright. I sold it to a guy down in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and it was paid for, so I had a pretty nice little chunk of cash to put down on something, and I just couldn't decide what I wanted. I looked at another Harley. They really didn't have anything light enough for what I was wanting. I looked at BMW, Triumph, Kawasaki. I looked at everything, and I kind of took my time. It took about a month before I made a purchase. Rode several bikes, and what got me into this adventure style motorcycle was I'd gone to the Triumph dealer in Greensboro, and I really wanted to look at a Bonneville. I wanted to look at a T120. I thought, well, maybe that's more of a standard bike that's lighter. Love the look of those retro Bonnevilles. And while I was there, I told the guy there, and by the way, Select Cycle in Greensboro, North Carolina, I can't say enough about those guys. Ryan is a top-notch guy, no pressure, showed me bikes, let me ride anything I wanted to ride. They're just a great bunch of folks over there. Jen, Ryan, the service guys, they just top-notch bunch of people. So, and I told him, I said, hey, look, I'm older, I want something lighter, something comfortable. I do a little bit of touring, not much. And he said, have you considered an ADV bike? And I said, no, I think they're ugly, and I still think they're ugly. He said, well, sit on it, see what you think. And I did, and I'm like, wow, I had never sat on one. And I said, I was surprised at how comfortable the bike seemed to be. I like the upright sitting position. I like having my legs under me instead of out in front of me, like most Harleys are with forward or mid-forward controls. And, I took a ride on it and just kind of fell in love with it. And again, they're not the prettiest bike. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but I'm not pretty either, so we're a good match. And my only qualms with it is I just haven't had time to ride it a whole lot. I haven't even taken it on a trip. It's going to go last fall. The weather was bad. We had a trip planned about a month ago, me and a couple other of my friends up to West Virginia, and the weather just did not cooperate. So we've rescheduled it for the end of June, and hopefully the weather cooperates. Now, I don't mind rain, a little bit of rain. I don't mind, showers, but when it's the weekend's a washout, I'm not going to ride in that. I'll just be honest with you. Man, isn't this pretty out here? Kind of in the middle of nowhere, a lot of farmland. So, you know, I don't know, we'll give you all the specs on this motorcycle. I don't know them. I know it's got about 94 horsepower. I think it's 64 foot-pounds of torque. It's got traction control. It's got a 6-axis IMU. It's got more stuff on it than I'll ever know or take the time to figure out. All right, here is my 2023 Triumph Tiger 900 GT, and in white, of course. And the only thing I've done to it really is I put the lower engine guard on it, and I think that's it. I got this little Nelson rig. I also have a top case on it. I forgot about that. I do have a top case on it that with the rack here that I would use for a trip. But you know, for daily riding, this thing's coming loose. I got to fix that before I take off. For daily riding, this thing is expandable, and believe it or not, it'll hold a full face helmet. I wear a medium, so it'll hold mine. But I keep my wallet and stuff in there. But yeah, here you go. Brembo brakes, radial mounted. I think it's 320 millimeter twin rotors, floating rotors. The GT Pros, it says here, it's got the fog lights on it, or the driving lights, adjustable windshield with this handle right here, pull up and down, really works well. Hand guards, which keep the wind off of you, LED lighting. This is a triple cylinder engine, 888 cc's. As I said, it's a cross plane motor, which has something to do with the firing order, makes it have more down-low torque, which it does. It rides a lot like a V-twin, which I've owned tons of V-twins. GT Pro comes with the center stand. Got this big honking exhaust on it, which I guess that's for emissions. I don't really care for that, but nice grab handles. Here's what it looks like from the rear. I think a 150 section tire. My first chain driven bike in a while, which yeah, that took some getting used to, taking care of a chain again. Not a big deal. This model has heated passenger seat, heated front seat. Here's a little plug right here. I guess this thing works. I don't really know. That's low, off, and high. I know this one works. Heated grips. There's the quick shifter. Yeah, I think it's a good looking motorcycle. I do. I like it. Not pretty, but it is nice looking. I like having a key instead of the key fob. But this is a 7-inch TFT display. It says good morning. A lot of info on here. You can choose different trays, what they call trays. Shows you preload, electronically adjustable rear suspension. The front is manual, if you could see it or not, for preload and damping or rebound. This is your, I'm in the on-road mode now, and I can actually set it for normal or sport. It's on comfort now, because I like to be comfortable. That's your damping. It also has Bluetooth to my phone. I don't think this thing works very well as far as the Bluetooth goes. If there's any probably disappointment, it's with this so-called navigation Bluetooth system. It says you can even hook a GoPro to it. I haven't tried it. You're supposed to be able to listen to music through it. I don't know. The Triumph app, if I have any complaints, it's probably that app sucks. You can look at your tachometer. You can look at it in digitally or with this little screen here, which is kind of wonky, your little wings. But here's your 4 different styles of trays. You can change the color. the contrast of the screen. It'll automatically go to high contrast for night or day, low contrast for night. TPS monitoring. Yeah, a lot of stuff. My average fuel economy, getting 54 miles a gallon. Got 123 miles left. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff on here. I do like that. That I do like. I do wish the tachometer was more of a traditional round, but whatever. I'm used to it. I don't look at the tach that often anyway. But I think I did say heated grips, self-canceling turn signals. The switches are backlit, believe it or not, which is really cool. So yeah, it's a very nice bike. The fit and finish, I think, is very good. Again, I haven't done anything to it other than put this lower engine guard on. That's about it. So anyway, if you have any questions about it, let me know. I'm going to continue my ride. So folks, thanks again for watching. Leave a comment if you want to know anything else about this motorcycle, and I will get back to you as quickly as I possibly can. So y'all take care. This is Stony, and hopefully we'll talk to you later.